So I just finished watching this girl's video on sensualism, and my dog, I have my dog right here, and I don't know, that was just funny. She just farted. I thought that was funny. But anyways, so basically, she was talking about how when we see the world, mundane things, like, for example, I don't know, I guess this is a bad example, but this painting, that's a bad example. That's a bad example. Like, it's just so funny to me. I don't know why. Maybe because maybe when I get, oh my god, when I feel like I'm put on the spot, I get nervous. And so then I'm like, like, I knew what I was gonna say, but I don't know. Anyway, side note, but I don't know, I want to say, look at this carpet. It looks mundane, right? You know, all the colors and the patterns. It's like any other carpet. But then when you start to look at it, you see that every thread has a direction, and every square has my dog. Like every part of it has a color, it has a form, and it's placed in a specific place. Positions. Placed in a specific position to where it creates this bigger picture, right? And when I think of that, that's like how I think of trees, you know? Like when I look at a tree, like, I don't know, I'm looking at a tree right now, but if you look at a tree, you see each leaf, right? Like, a lot of people don't think about trees like that. They're like, oh, it's just another tree, right? But if you see it in an artist's perspective, you just see every branch and every leaf and every twig and every bird on that tree, and then on that bird, every feather, every color, how the light hits it, every shadow, how the roots spread out and go above the ground. It's just like, and then you see the leaves moving in the wind, and then you hear the wind, and that mundane thing that you're looking at, that mundane activity that you're part of, it suddenly has so, like, hits so deep, and like you feel it, like, and suddenly you're looking in that tree and you're just like, wow, that tree is extraordinary. Like, just like this carpet is so extraordinary, so beautiful. And just like we are, you know, like, and we have the ability to see, and it's like, it's just crazy. And if you look at wood, every grain in that piece of wood, every ring in that, what is it called? I just learned about that in my biology class. I don't remember. I think it was like, I don't know, but you know the rings and the age, anyways. But it's just so magnificent. And then it's like, it's crazy because when you see the world, it's like the world looks at you, you know? It's like, I see you, you see me, and I feel you, and you feel me, and we're connected, you know? We're connected in this moment of observation. We're connected in this moment of consciousness, honestly. It's becoming aware of mundane beauty, aware of everything around you, aware, and I just saw 444. Just, I don't even know. I feel like I do have the words to explain it, but like suddenly, oh, my battery just came on, but it's like suddenly the world becomes magical because you see it. You see the detail. You see the magic. You see the beauty. You see everything. And you're just like, wow. Like, I remember this one time I live really close to the mountains by my house. And I remember one time I went there. I think I actually posted a video on my YouTube channel when I went there. But I was just like, I literally wanted to cry because just how free I felt in that moment of not having any other thought except observing the moment I was in. Observing and being aware of the mountain, of the trees, of the rock underneath me, of the dirt, of every branch next to me, of every bird flying in the wind, of every cloud, of the color of the sky, of the infinite nature of the sky, how it just goes on, and how the wind felt against my skin, and just every sense of awareness through every one of my senses, how everything smelled, how I felt. It was just like, I felt really grateful to be able to even be in that headspace, to be able to let go and just be able to observe and be able to be aware in that moment, because so many times we lose it. We lose that connection because we are so stuck in our heads. But it's a human thing, you know? It's like we all have it. We all have thoughts. We all have an ego. It just is. But once you start becoming aware, I feel like the external observation also reflects your internal observation, and you start to see yourself. You see the beauty in yourself. You're right here, that's why I did that. But you see the beauty in your simple existence. You see the beauty in how you speak and how you feel, in every emotion, good or bad. You know, yin and yang, light and dark. You know, duality. It exists, right? But it's like, it helps you once you see the beauty in the mundane. You start to see the beauty in the pain, in the mundane in you, you know? It's like every moment really is so magical and so beautiful. And you know, another thing, I feel like when I look at the sky, and I feel like it's almost like removing the harshness of your perceptions externally, and then it reflects internally. Because, right, let's say I'm driving on the street and I see the mountains and I'm like, oh, it's just a mountain. It's kind of harsh, you know? Like, it's a mountain. And you're gonna say, oh, it's just a mountain. You do that to yourself, you know? Just had to say that, I don't know. But I feel like, but once you look at that mountain, you're like, wow, it's a mountain. It's a mountain. Like, how is that a mountain? It's so beautiful. I'm so happy to be here and to observe how beautiful this mountain, how it feels, how it smells, how the wind feels, how it sounds with all of the animals and the birds and the wind, and how it looks with all the colors and the textures, and just like, I don't know, that artist brain, bro. But then that reflects internally, and you look at yourself and you're like, wow, I am so beautiful. I am so kind. You know, my existence is an honor. It's beautiful. And I get to experience every moment of this awareness with myself, you know? That's only gonna come from you. It's only ever gonna come from you. You can't experience somebody else, you know? Like, I mean, experience through somebody else. You're never gonna be another person in this lifetime. You're only ever gonna experience life through your own perceptions. So it's time to take ownership of it, you know? It's time to stop sitting in the second seat being like, oh, I don't want to go there. Don't go there. Take the handle and move it. Like, it's, I want to say it's not that hard, but it is hard. It is hard. And you got to give yourself credit for that too, because it is hard. But, oh, back to what I was saying. Oh my God, so tangled. But, I gotta take a shower. It's okay. But, then it's like, once you start, back to the mundane thing, once you look at that mountain, you're like, wow, I'm breathing in this mountain right now. Like, it's just so beautiful. And you start to just become aware of it. You become aware of yourself, you know, and in a more internal perspective, you become aware of your own perceptions. You become aware of how you perceive things, how you react to things. Why do you put that definition around that? Why do you perceive it mundanely? Why did you give it that meaning, and why were you only able to perceive that meaning, you know? What clicked? What switched? And how are you able to integrate that switch into other parts of your life so that you can enjoy it more? It's giving yourself permission to really feel and not be so disconnected from it, you know? And it's just like, it's honestly, it's a blessing. It's beautiful. It's an honor. It's magical, you know? To be able to experience life in such a sensual way, because you're just so in love with existing, with feeling, with seeing. And then it's like when you're back in that moment of mundane and back in that moment of fear, of overwhelm, of things are going on, you know, things are rolling and you're disconnected again. And then suddenly something catches your eye and you're like, whoa, that's really pretty. And I'm really happy to see it, you know? It's like, wow. And then suddenly it clicks again and you're like, I can give myself permission to feel connected in this moment again. I can give myself permission to feel aware in this moment again and slow down and just look. Just observe. Give myself 5 seconds to observe and just be in that energy again. Be in that moment again of just stillness. And then, I don't know, and then you want to paint it. You're like, oh, that looks so good, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Life is so beautiful and I want you to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. I want everybody to enjoy it. But I'm not gonna lie, it takes work. It takes some internal work to get there, you know? Because honestly, like, I feel like we're our own biggest we are our own biggest enemy, you know? We prevent ourselves from existing in other perceptions that give us more freedom, you know? And it's crazy. It's crazy because our ego justifies it so many times, and it's like, that's why I love stillness. Because I feel like it gives you a chance. It gives you a chance to be like, oh, okay, how do I want to move forward, you know? It gives you that pause in between your thoughts. You know, my manager, I love her so much. I love her at work. I was just talking to her this morning, and she's talking about thoughts and how thoughts are like balloons that take up space in your head. And it's just like, you know, like all these balloons filling up all that space. And then she was like, in my meditation, I was just popping them. I was just popping the balloons and letting them deflate. And I was like, oh, wow, that is a beautiful analogy. But it really is, you know? We can be prisoners of our minds so many times, but yet we also have the power to free ourselves, you know? It's like in Monopoly when you have that get out of jail free card. It's like you always had that card. You were just too scared to use it. But now you're looking at that card and you're like, wow, that's a really beautiful card. Why haven't I ever used it? You know? I had that 5 seconds of freedom, and it's like, what would it feel like if I took that step, you know? What would it feel like if I felt like that all the time? What would life feel like then? And it's like, well, you can do that for yourself, you know? Like, you have it within you to go there, you know? You have the card, just turn it in. Actually, you don't even have to turn it in, just look at it. Think about it, you know? Feel it. But I don't know. That's just what I think, you know? But I don't know, maybe think about it. Maybe sit with that. sit with how you perceive the world. And you know how you're going to get insight to how you perceive the world? Look at your reactions. When something bad happens, how do you react? When something good happens, how do you react? When you get scared, how do you react? When you get stressed, how do you react? Look at that and think about it. Think about it and tell yourself, do I have to feel this way? You know, how can I be gentle with myself? How can I process this feeling? You know, how can I sit with myself? How can I be still with myself and feel it? Don't reject it. But if you reject it, that's okay. That's okay. Maybe when I don't know, maybe in 5 minutes, you'll be like, actually, I am okay and I can sit with it. Maybe it might be 5 years. Give yourself what you need, bro. Like, I don't know. Life is beautiful. I love you. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you made it this far through, I love you. Thank you. And have a wonderful day. And maybe, actually, let me see. I challenge you, maybe not challenge. An idea I have, and if you want to take it, is go outside and look at something. Just look at it. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be the sky, the tree, the ground, your hand, anything, and just look at it. Just look at it and see it and be aware of it. Look at it, and it's okay if your mind wanders. It's okay if your mind is like, oh, my hand, oh my god, I need to do this and this and that. Like, I have to do this with my hand, and I have to cook, and I have to, you know, like, it's okay if that happens. But when you realize that that's happening, look at your hand again. You know, look at that thing that you're looking at again, and just start again. Just look at it, observe it, and start kind of imagining. I don't know, because I don't know. Like, when I look at a tree, let's say it's far from me, like this tree outside my window, I start to imagine how the wind sounds when it brushes against its leaves, and I start to notice how the light is shining and how the shadow is over here and how it's so beautiful, and all the little branches and how it's contrasted with the sky, you know, like little things like that. Just feeling into the moment that you're having, that moment of bliss, that moment of peace, that moment, just that moment. It can just be that moment. And just be there, you know? Just be there. And it's okay. It's okay if you wander off. It's okay. But just be there. Just be there and give yourself permission and allow yourself to really be there. And I think that's all for today. That's all for right now. I got things to do. I got places to go. I got things to think. Maybe. But I don't know. Thank you for being here. I love you so much, and have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful year. This year is filled with so much good things, and if you're watching this sometime later, that year is gonna be great too. I don't know. I love you so much. I need to stop saying I don't know, because I do know. I need to think about that. Why do I say that? Why am I not confident in what I do know? Anyways, that's too much right now. And I'll give myself permission. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I love you so much, and have a wonderful day, and goodbye.